so we can respond. You have to sort of decide what the logistics of it are. Whose monkey is it? Who's now responsible for it? How do you solicit to the general public people whose emails they want to have, you know, it's more than just the concept. The concept is great. The logistics of it, I don't think we understand.
I'll speak to that. There wouldn't be a moderator because there wouldn't be a discussion. So the term moderator to moderate, you know, messages and stuff wouldn't really be there. My envision in this would be basically you're sending out a message, and if there's a response, then someone has to either answer that question or forward it to the proper person. I wasn't particularly thinking of Dr. Littlefield personally to answer this, but perhaps a staff member. I don't think it would, you know, logistically, I mean, we could go with something in our own infrastructure, or there's companies out there that do this, you know, all over the place. And basically you just email to it and then it hits the entire thing. There's free options like Google, and, you know, there's other ways that you can handle it. I think it's worth the effort because I think by engaging the public, the benefits well outweigh what we might put into it. And I'll go back to the ELS program. It was just phenomenal. The talent that we would get, people that worked for Cisco and all of these places that knew all of this stuff that would charge people hundreds of dollars were coming down to Underhill and working for free. So, you know, a little bit of effort in there, if we have projects like that where we can get that community in, not only does it benefit the community that way, the school that way, but it helps to build the community and the school bond, because that person that's helping feels like they're helping us out, and I think that's important. So I think it would be a little amount of effort, and maybe it could evolve into something. It requires a little bit more effort, but it certainly, I don't think that the volume of it. I would see maybe there's, you know, maybe an announcement goes out that there's a school board meeting. You know, an announcement goes out that there's a play coming up. ALPS program or something like that that's coming up. Then if there's something specific, you know, we would post that.
My concern is that most everything, and I say most, everything that we post has to be posted in an area where we're getting, or at least the potential of getting 100% of the population, if you will. So, you know, where we would have this opt-in, which again, I agree with the superintendent. It's a great concept, but my concern is that we're reaching a very small number of people, and we do, and you know, I respect your opinion, but we do have the website as well. So it seems to me like, again, I don't disagree with the concept, but it's a third, almost a third mode. You know, we write something up, let's say for the banner, we put it on the website, and now we have this opt-in. So if it was eliminating something, I'd say, well, okay, that's a good way of eliminating, you know, this and making, maybe streamlining the administration's process. But that's the only thing that I'm not seeing is.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Tricia, I'm sorry.
Since conceptually we think this is a great idea, but we have some concerns about the logistics and who would monitor and all of that, would it be possible for this to go to a committee or make a committee that would discuss this so the logistics are worked out and it comes back and it's more formally presented? Then I like this idea of an email notification system, but I don't know how it works, who would submit it, who would do that, that we kind of work on that area that maybe weekly it's a board member, like every week you do it. I mean, it happens frequently within the PTA that between the president-elects and myself, that it's a different week that you're in charge of posting on Facebook, that you're in charge of monitoring the Hooksett PTA email site. And I mean, that might be a way to eliminate it, that we're not asking administrators to look at an email system, that maybe if this seems to be David's baby, that maybe a board member and he get together and we work out the logistics, and we go to an administrator that we're assigned to ask the questions, could this work, could that work? Because I've been on the board a year, and I still don't fully understand what every administrator does or how busy their day is. And I don't want to add something to anybody's plate, but if we're trying to improve public relations, if we're going to come out of the gate, we got to come out of the gate working, not another time we trip over ourselves. Would that be something that would?
Well, first of all, when you talk about writing something up in the banner, you could simply include, assuming you email to the banner, I mean, you could include that to the post. So I don't know that it would be that much more work. I'm not, really sitting here in the position that I want to take on more tasks. I mean, I have a job that I work for. The administration, they get paid to work all day. I mean, I don't see this as a big task.
But I'm just asking.
Please finish though. I don't see this as a big task. I think this is the 21st century. We are wired here. I mean, come on. This is, it's not, it's not that difficult to do. Now, the other thing is, it's not even going to really be that successful to start with. These things are like a drip to try to get anybody to opt into. So it's not like anybody's going to get swamped with this stuff. But the impression I think that it gives is that we are reaching out. We are reaching out. Even if people don't opt into it, we are making it available. We're making that effort. And we are willing to hear from people that want to volunteer and give them opportunities. So, I mean, I don't know the cost and time analysis of it, but I just don't think it's all that big. And I'm really not in the position to take on, I've already committed tonight that I would work with students on the video and the audio stuff. I can't do anything else. I just don't see it as that big of a thing. And I don't really, I appreciate your idea about a committee, but again, it's another committee, and I think we should just decide on it. Thank you. Cheryl.
Can I just suggest, this has been, some good information back and forth on this, but if we could continue the conversation at other meetings, just in light of, the length of what we still need to go through. We've started the dialogue on it, and I think we should continue it and move on.
I'll make a motion that the administration come back with us with some options, logistic options for an email notification system.
We have a motion. Okay, we don't have a
Did we already
second.
have another motion before that?
I just started talking about it.
Yeah, we didn't have a
I didn't motion
No,
it.
there were no
Okay.
motions,
All right.
so we don't have a second, so.
I just
Well, he just
seconded.
Oh, you did second?
Yeah.
Okay.
My motion now
Oh, man,
is,
Mike, you gotta speak up.
my motion is to have the administration bring us some options back about an email notification system.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion on the motion?
Well, I think we should pass that motion, but I think it doesn't just have to be the administration. If anyone else wants to come back with any other information and logistics, I think, yeah, that can work too. Especially, yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that, again, I'll say, I like the concept, but there are a number of unknowns, and, I agree, everybody's busy. I truly like the subcommittee concept, and I think based on that, and the fact that we don't have enough information, we heard from the superintendent too, that, based on what he was hearing, at least the information that he had, they didn't feel that the administration had the time to do it. So I'd be against it just because there are a lot of unknowns, the time, who's actually handling it. And so I'm against it just because of the too many unknowns.
Can I speak to it? If we look across the table, everybody has a device in front of them they're on. This is the way that we communicate. We put ourselves out there as a 21st century. It's all over. We need to make that effort. That's my point. Are there some unknowns? Yes, not big ones. But I'll tell you, if you're saying the 21st century and you aren't making an effort, I think that doesn't look well. And, you know, to try to figure out that somebody's got to go to a website periodically to check to see if there's an opportunity for them to volunteer or to be part of what we're doing, it's just not reasonable. I mean, texting and other forms of communication are much more, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be on the website, and I know legally posting and so forth is different, but my idea is to reach out. I think we can do this. We have the technology, and I don't think it's a big issue. Thank
Any
you.
other discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving the motion as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
You're opposed? I got that, 2, 3, motion fails.